Life has a way of teaching us lessons when we least expect them, and I realized this one summer afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia when I was sitting at a small cafe on Peachtree Street. My name is Jessica Carter, and I had just turned 32. I had a good job as a project manager, friends who cared for me, and a loving family, yet something inside me always felt unsettled, like I was living at half my potential. That afternoon, while sipping iced coffee and staring at people walking by, I overheard a conversation from a table next to me. A young woman was crying to her friend, saying, "I don't know where to put my hands anymore. I don't know what to do with my life." Her words struck me deeply, and though I didn't mean to eavesdrop, the sentence echoed in my mind all day. I walked back to my apartment thinking about it. Where do we put our hands when life gets heavy? Hands can hold on, hands can let go, hands can build, hands can break. That night lying in bed, I remembered something my grandmother once told me. Jessica, in life there are only two safe places to put your hands: on your work and on your heart. At the time I didn't fully understand, but now it made perfect sense. The world is noisy, full of distractions, endless scrolling, temporary thrills, and people who may or may not have your best interest at heart. But if you focus your hands, your time, your energy, your effort on your work and on your heart, you cannot lose. The next morning I decided to test this wisdom in real life. Work had always been stressful for me. Deadlines, endless emails, difficult clients. Instead of facing them, I often procrastinated. But that day I walked into my office differently. I placed my hands on my desk and whispered to myself, "This is where my energy belongs." I turned off distractions, made a to-do list, and gave my full attention to my projects. By evening I had accomplished more in one day than I usually did in a week. For the first time in months I left work feeling proud. The second place, as my grandmother said, was on my heart. That meant self-care, kindness, forgiveness, and connection with people who mattered. I began journaling, exercising, calling my parents more often, and spending quiet mornings in prayer. Slowly, I realized that caring for my heart gave me strength to keep my hands steady at work. Weeks later, I traveled to New York City for a big business presentation. The city was alive, full of temptations to lose focus: shopping, nightlife, endless entertainment. A colleague invited me to skip the meeting prep and go out for drinks. Old Jessica would have gone, but I remembered my grandmother's advice, so I stayed in my hotel room, hands on my laptop, polishing my slides. The next day I delivered my presentation with confidence. The client signed a $1 million contract with our firm, and my boss congratulated me in front of everyone. That night as I walked through Times Square, I looked at the glowing billboards and thought, distractions will always be there, but success comes when you know where to put your hands. A month later, work sent me to Chicago, and it was there that I faced the second lesson: putting my hands on my heart. Chicago was my childhood city, the place where I had lost friends, made mistakes, and carried regrets. Walking down Michigan Avenue, memories came flooding back. I felt bitterness rising inside me, but instead of ignoring it, I stopped at Millennium Park, sat on a bench, and placed both my hands on my chest. I whispered, "I forgive myself, I forgive others." Tears rolled down my cheeks, but with each tear I felt lighter. Healing was happening. My heart became free, and suddenly the skyline looked brighter, the air fresher, the city kinder. Later I flew to Los Angeles for a conference where I was asked to give a motivational speech. Standing in front of hundreds of people, I remembered the girl from the cafe in Atlanta who said she didn't know where to put her hands. I shared my grandmother's wisdom with the crowd. Friends, there are only two safe places to put your hands: on your work and on your heart. Put your hands on your work and you will build a future. Put your hands on your heart and you will protect your soul. The room went silent, then people stood up and applauded. Some even had tears in their eyes. That day I realized the power of passing wisdom forward. Back in Atlanta, my life transformed. I received a promotion at work, my relationships grew deeper, my stress levels dropped, and most importantly, I felt a steady sense of purpose I had never experienced before. I no longer wandered through life asking, what should I do now? Every day had direction: hands on my work, hands on my heart. And when challenges came, as they always do, I reminded myself that success doesn't come from luck or shortcuts, it comes from focus and love. So if you ever feel lost, if you don't know where to put your hands, remember this: place them on your work, place them on your heart. Those two places will guide you through every storm, every doubt, and every dream. And maybe one day, like me, you'll pass that wisdom forward to someone else sitting in a cafe wondering what to do with their life.